So, VCT Malaysia Singapore Stage 3 challengers have not been easy, with different new teams popping up as well. You guys also had a recent roster change right before the VCT started. Any opinions with the amount of teams and styles that you guys have been facing off since the qualifiers?
I think in general, like teams in Malaysia and Singapore, like in this region, they are more puggish. They tend to do like random things that might catch you off guard, like in the middle of the round, like out of nowhere. Like one guy we just popped off, and so it's harder to read them compared to teams that we usually face in Southeast Asia. Like even in scrims, like when we scrim Koreans or China teams, like we can read them, but in Southeast Asia, in MYSG, they are like just so random. When teams are more structured, I feel it's more easier to counter strat, but that's not the case in MYSG, except for a few teams that are structured like Toda, Piperex, or Kingsman. So I think in MYSG it's a mix of both unstructured and structured gameplays.
I see. Ooh, that's really random actually, now that you've mentioned it. I mean, can you give us a bit of an insider's look to how the team is before Challengers 1 and then now?
For the previous roster of SMG, like the one with Flexi and Egoist, I think we were pretty well prepared and ready for challenges. Like VCT as a whole, like we had time to prepare and participate in several tournaments and before the start of VCT, and we actually won a few of them. Like so, the team are very well prepared for Challengers 1 and First Strike, but we just lost in First Strike and Challengers 1. So for the current roster, I think we had very limited time to prepare before stage 3 because we changed like 2 players in the very last minute. And it's been almost a month since the roster changed, I think. So yeah, I think we're almost there, like almost gelled together.
All right, that sounds exciting. I mean, how are the preparations so far going into the VCTs, especially since, as you've mentioned, roster change?
I think it's pretty unfortunate that we had to make a couple of last-minute changes. Like Egoist have to start serving his national service in a month or 2 from now. Yeah, so it came very sudden, and with him departing, we also had to bench Lexi because I think the whole team wanted to go like a full time, like. Because of his current internship, like Lexi wasn't able to join us for team practice in the afternoon previously. Like it was a very difficult decision to let Lexi go. Like as we all know, he's a very good player, but I think this is better for the team in the long run as we can progress together quicker together as a team, since we will have more time to work things out together.
Yeah, because for sure with the scrims you need the whole team ready, right?
Yeah, and also with the time we had with the two new players, we pretty much started boot camping the moment they joined us. Like we prep from 11 to 9 every day, like 11 a.m. They have to check in at the office and they go home around 9.
Oh.
So yeah. So we were actually doing great in Scream, like against all the Korean and China teams. Like I mean, you win some, you lose some, but I guess the downside of screaming these teams is like sometimes you just forgot how loose and fast the teams in MYSG can be. Like I said, like they are pretty random. So recently we started screaming more Southeast Asia teams again. So instead of facing Korean and China teams where they are more methodical and easier to read sometimes.
Ooh. Okay, that sounds interesting, especially if we, see maybe Berlin in the future.
I mean, Koreans and China teams are pretty strong. It's not that they are just easy to read, but their firepower also counts up for it. Like even though if you read them, sometimes you just can't do anything.
Yeah, usually they just pop off out of nowhere. What are your first impressions when you saw the brackets for Challengers 1 and then Challengers 2? There were a lot of names up there, old and new. Ooh.
Okay. I think we didn't really care like who we were facing since we've pretty much like met all of them before in tournaments. Like so the bracket didn't really matter as much to us. Like I mean, if your aim is to become the champion, it doesn't really matter who you face like early or late in the bracket. But kudos to all the teams like that were doing well in Challenges 1 and 2.
Yeah, definitely kudos to all of them. The heat is on here for stage 3. Despite all the
Yeah.
names up, Team SMG is a big name of its own. Were there any pressure at all going into the VCTs with all these expectations?
I think the amount of pressure we had was okay. We actually have our own sports psychologist. Shout out to Evelyn that helped us on these mental aspects kind of thing. Like we were one of the best team in Southeast Asia during stage 1 and 2, and I believe with this new roster, it's just a matter of time before we reach the top again.
Oh, okay. Getting me hyped up here. All right, let's talk a little bit about the games. Heading into Challengers 2, you guys had to face off Paper Rex right off the bat, the team that was expected to win. You guys won your pistol rounds, but unfortunately had to go down to the lower brackets, where you guys did dominate the first match against Underrank. But then the Louvre game came in. There was a round there. You guys came in with Stingers against the Phantoms of Louvre, but almost won the round. Sadly, the spike timer was ticking, and with that, you guys will have to go through another set of qualifiers for Challengers 3. Any thoughts or comments with how the games are going so far, and can we look forward to seeing you guys pop off over at the Challengers 3?
I think in general, I think my team is just pretty good with eco rounds. So I don't know what's going on, but we always win our ecos. So we certainly did not expect like Uwu to win Challengers 2. I think individually they were all better than Paper X during that best of 5 last week. But don't get me wrong, Paper X is still a very strong team right now. It was just one bad series for them. So after losing 2 challenges in a row, it kind of feels like all the pressures are gone. But it kind of makes me feel like we are actually the underdogs right now. So yeah, we can still win this event.
Time for the underdogs story to start up. So, what do you think coming in? Are you guys looking confident for Challengers 3?
Pretty confident. Like, we're gonna shake things up, and shout out to all our fans. Like, thanks for the continuous support during our games, even though we weren't doing that well recently. Like, I promise you, we will be back soon.
All right, it will be most probably another Paper Rex finals. And that is it for me. It is time for you. The stage is yours. Do you have any words or plug to the people watching right now, be it fans, family, or other teams?
Shout out to all our sponsors and fans. Like, thanks for the continuous support. Like, don't give up on us, okay? We haven't give up, so keep cheering for us. We won't disappoint you in the coming events.
All right, that is awesome to hear. All right, this will be the end of our post-match interview. We're looking forward to see you guys play up. Thank you so much for being here, man, and having this interview. Hope to see you guys again. All right, thank you again.
Thank you.
See you, Challengers 3.